Thank you. Before the clerk gets started tonight, I've got like a really funky voice, if you can't discern that yet. So forgive me as I try to barrel my way through some rather lengthy proclamations. I've split some up with Vice Chairman Fennell and Mr. Elsasser to give me a little relief. But with 5 departing members and some business, it'll be a good bit of front-end conversation out of this voice to you. I also want to tell you that in spite of me trying to make sure we had a great short last meeting, we have an executive session at the end on some pertinent stuff. So with that, I'll defer to the clerk.
Roll call. Screens aren't on. Member Relaford. Not here. Okay. $17 present.
Thank you.
Approval of minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes by Mr. Fennell and a second from Ms. Daly. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as submitted? Everybody good with them? Seeing no hands raised, all those in favor, I'm sorry, just please vote.
$17 ayes. Proclamations and presentations. A proclamation recognizing Brimfield Grade School softball team on their 2021 and 2022 IESA Class 1 state championships.
Mr. Elsasser, if you bring your teams up.
Go ahead and go all the way across.
I honestly can't remember such a contingency. I mean, this is pretty amazing, the group of girls you have here tonight. And, a lot of teams have trouble because, they won a certain sport and then the next sport's already started and they have practice or a track meet or something like that. And so, thank you. Thank you so much for coming, all of you, and congratulations to you. This is really great. I'm Brian Elsesser, and I'm actually from Princeville. And Matt Windish, sitting right here in the front, was supposed to come up, but he said there wasn't room. And he represents Elmwood and Brimfield in that area, and Jimmy Dillon helped call this in as well, so I really do appreciate that. First of all, I'll read the proclamation. Whereas Peoria County congratulates the Brimfield Grade School softball team on their back-to-back 21 and 22 IESA Class 1A championships. Wow, back-to-back. That's pretty tough, isn't it? Yeah, isn't that what they say in sports? It's tough to do it twice. Whereas the Brimfield Grade School softball team championed over Paris Crestwood 9-1 in 2022 for their second continuous state title. And whereas Peoria County acknowledges the hard work and dedication of each and every player, both on and off the softball field. And whereas Brimfield Athletic Director Jason Sunderland, softball coach Kurt Urians, and assistant coaches Ashley Corneliuson, Riley Corneliuson, Josh McNone, and Stephen Updike were all instrumental in leading the Brimfield softball program to this historic double victory. And whereas the Peoria County is proud of this impressive season of 26 wins and only 2 losses for the Brimfield Grade School softball team. Now, therefore, I, Andrew A. Rand, Chairman of the Peoria County Board, on behalf of the County Board, do hereby recognize the Brimfield Grade School softball team on being in Illinois State Championship for now 2 consecutive years in a row. Very impressive. Dated this 10th day of November, AD 2022, Andrew Rand, Chairman, Rachel Parker, County Clerk. Before I make this presentation, I also wanted to mention that Danny Kelch, I think he's back here, he's got 2 granddaughters on the team, and he's going to be coming on the county board in another month, and so he can make the presentation when you win the 3rd one in a row. Is that okay? So, Coach Kurt, Urias, congratulations.
Thank you.
On behalf of the county, and now you have a lot of introductions to make, and I appreciate everybody coming.
Okay. First of all, thank you for the recognition. I'm sure the girls appreciate it. These are things that you never, when you get recognized for hard work like the girls are, it matters. First, Josh McCown, coach. Steve Updike, coach. We have 2 others that aren't here, Ashley and help me out, Riley, that helped and did a lot of work too. So appreciate that. 2 years in a row. You know, the first one wasn't unexpected, but you can't, even when you're talented, you have to know that there's a lot of things have to go your way, and it did. Same way for the second year, this past year. I would say sometimes expectations can be a burden, and when you return most of your kids, the expectations are definitely there, and was definitely there for the team, for parents, for school, and everything. And so the kids met those expectations. So it just kind of shows what they're made of. I think that's about it. Well, I know I was going to introduce. I haven't seen them for a couple months, some of them. So all right. Layla Hurstman. All right. Yes. Jordan Carroll. Tegan Drury. Lola McFarden. Madison Hurstman. Those 2 are related. Joe Ewell. Joe's from the previous year. She's a big shot in high school now, but a big part of our previous year. Same with Shyler Minders, who is Danny's granddaughter. And same thing with Shy. Sawyer Drury, same thing with Sawyer from the previous year. Big part of what happened that year. Macy McCown. Ella Helms. Kendall Bender. All right, help me. Reese Legaspi. I'm losing it. Being a senior citizen ain't all it's cracked up to be. Addison Presbillo. I can spell it too. Megan Cox. Audrey Updike. Lauren Updike. Ashlyn Vaughn. Mia Minders, another one of the Kelch contingent. And Anya Nelson. So, thank you, girls, for all your hard work and all.
With this big group, I'm going to ask half of you girls to come this way and the other half to go that way, and that way the coaches can get in the picture and the parents can take a better picture. Okay. Is that okay?
Okay.
You want to kneel down kind of?
Well, just have half the girls come down here and make 2 rows.
Yep.
And then the second half slide down behind them. Just come down this way.
Girls, come this way. Half you. Kendall, come this way.
In the front row. Yeah. And now you guys slide down. Okay. Coaches, you get in there. Go ahead and get in. Go ahead. Coach, you got to get in there. They can't even see you. Just kind of get up there.
I know. Do we? I don't want a photo bomb.
Lower the seat.
I've never heard that before. I'm too tall.
Okay, thank you very much. Congratulations. Yeah, good job. While they're walking off, I did want to mention that former Sheriff Asbell's sister is the principal. Julie, right?
Yeah, Julie Albrecht.
Albritton, yeah. So.
A proclamation recognizing Aaron Broomfield for his winning Peoria County flag design.
Thank you. I'm going to call Aaron. Do you want to come on up? And then we're going to have a special presenter for this. It'll be Brady Renault. Brady, you'll recall, I've mentioned it once or twice, is the one that said to me, hands on hips, Mr. Rand, why doesn't Peoria County have a flag? To which I answered, I don't know why. Well, the entire idea to have a flag competition and create a flag, which is artfully displayed next to our state flag here, was Brady's. So he's been a part of the entire process, including being one of the judges. And, of course, Aaron is the selected recipient whose flag and flag pins are adorning everything we're doing now, which is great. That's what we wanted, was to create a brand. But that's the story of Brady Renault. Feel free to deliver the chairman's proclamation.
Yeah. This is my first time reading the proclamation, so. Whereas Peoria County recognizes and honors Aaron Broomfield for his winning Peoria County flag design, and whereas Aaron Broomfield's design for the Peoria County flag was one of 42 flags submitted by community members, and whereas the flag received high marks for its uniqueness and design by members of the community judging panel, and well as the North American Vexillological Association and organization devoted to the study of flags. And whereas the flag was unveiled to the public on October 22nd, 2022 at the Peoria Riverfront Museum, and whereas the flag's symbolism comes from its design and color scheme, the Illinois River is featured prominently in the bottom right corner to symbolize how our region's growth flows from this resource. The yellow circle and the blue border form the letter P, representative of the county's name. Blue represents water and all the natural resources in our county. Green stands for our agricultural roots and industry that is still significant in the area. Gold symbolizes our innovation across all industries in Peoria County. Now, therefore, I, Andrew A. Rand, Chairman of the Peoria County Board, on behalf of the County Board, do hereby thank Aaron Broomfield for his submission to the Peoria County Flag Contest and recognize his design as the newest symbol of Peoria County, dated this 10th of November, AD 2022. Andrew A. Rand, Peoria County Chairman, Rachel Parker, Peoria County Clerk.
Hi, I'm Aaron. Real quick, I just wanted to say, it's a really big honor to be able to leave my mark on this amazing county that I've spent pretty much my entire life in. And it looks amazing on you guys' desks. Thank you.
Congratulations.
A proclamation recognizing November 26, 2022 as Small Business Saturday.
I'd like to invite Dr. Eden Blair to come deliver this proclamation, and the representative from
Lifting Up LLC.
Thank you.
So
Lifting
we have
Up
Katie
LLC.
Kelly from Lifting Up LLC. Right there. So about a year ago, the Peoria County Advisory Committee on Entrepreneurship and Small Business came up with this idea that we needed a digital dashboard. So anyone interested in starting a business in this area had a place to start that they could Google and find. And from that, find amazing mentors and advisors and people to help them. So we decided to do that. And about a week later, I had people knocking on my door saying, you know, there's a local business doing that. That had just gotten through Brave Start, one of our accelerator programs. And we could not be more delighted to have a local business of Lifting Up LLC to support us in this endeavor. Whereas Peoria County celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. And whereas, according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 30.7 million small businesses in the United States, representing 99.7% of all firms with paid employees, and are responsible for 65.1% of net new jobs created from 2000 to 2019. And whereas Small Business Saturday and our local Shop Small effort, Shop Local 365, encourages residents to shop or eat at small, independently owned businesses all year long, not just during the holiday season. And whereas Peoria County's newest initiative, Start a Business Greater Peoria, which can be found at startabusinessgp.org, aims to help grow small businesses and startups in Peoria County by utilizing the Smart Start dashboard. And whereas individuals utilizing the Smart Start dashboard are connected with mentors who help guide entrepreneurs step by step through launching a small business in our region, involve them in the extensive local entrepreneur ecosystem, and help set them up for success. And whereas Peoria County is proud to partner with Lifting Up LLC, a local small business, I just said it right? Okay. On this initiative of helping more small businesses and individuals with big ideas flourish in Peoria County. And whereas we know thriving local businesses create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our neighborhoods. Now, therefore, I, Andrew A. Rand, Chairman of the Peoria County Board, do hereby proclaim Saturday, November 26, 2022, as Small Business Saturday, dated this 10th day of November, AD 2022, signed Andrew A. Rand, Peoria County Board Chairman, and Rachel Parker, Peoria County Clerk.
Mr. Chairman and members of the board, thank you so much. As a Peoria native and someone who entered entrepreneurship as something completely unplanned, unlike the wonderful students we just worked with earlier this week at the Social Impact Challenge, it's so important for us to see and hear entities like this use your platform and your resources to spotlight local businesses. I'm also a data nerd, so even though the proclamation had a lot of statistics, I want to share another one, which is from an SBA survey, and that says that over 62% of Americans have a dream to build a business, but less than 41% would start that business in 6 months if they could, but 2% actually do. And so it's efforts like this that are reducing those barriers, and hopefully we can bring that number up here in Peoria County. And I'm just really honored to be part of the efforts to support that 2% and growing, to avoid pitfalls, participate on the Smart Start dashboard. As of yesterday, we had over 60 users who are going through the platform and hopefully going to put their hat in the ring for funding in 2023. So thank you for your support and for championing us. And I look forward to see what comes out of these efforts. So thank you.
Thank you.
Sounds like she got the phone.
Thank you, Dr. Blair.
Proclamations for outgoing county board members.
Let me invite Vice Chairperson Fennell to join me up front. And Jim and I are going to go through these. I think I've assigned some to him. Would you like to come up and start with your member proclamation? It's okay. We're allowed to talk. It's our last meeting. They can't do anything. They can't do anything to us. What, are they going to kick us out?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first proclamation I have is for Rachel Relaford, who's not here tonight, but we certainly want to read off her proclamation. Whereas Peoria County wishes to recognize and thank Rachel Relaford for serving as Peoria County Board Member for District 12 since December 3rd, 2018. And whereas Rachel Relaford has served on a variety of board committees, including the County Health Committee, Ways and Means Committee, the Executive Committee, the Budget Subcommittee as Vice Chairperson, Finance, Audit, and Legislative Affairs Committee as its Vice Chairperson. Whereas Peoria County also recognizes that Rachel Relaford's commitment to the community over the years extends beyond Peoria County Board, including being a member of Peoria Rotary Club North, League of Women Voters, Northwoods Community Church, Weaver Ridge Tall Grass Homeowners Association, and trustee for Weaver Ridge Master Homeowners Association. Therefore, I, Andrew A. Rand, Chairman of Peoria County Board, on behalf of the County Board, do here recognize and thank Board Member Rachel Relaford for her public service, dated this day of November AD 2022. Andrew A. Rand, Peoria County Chairman, Rachel Parker, Peoria County Clerk. The second one I have, I think I'm going to wait till the end. This is a special person. I'm just going to wait till the end and let everybody else.
Thank you. Junior Watkins, Member Watkins. He doesn't say much, so let's see. Come on up, brother. Thanks for being here. Whereas Peoria County wishes to recognize and thank William Junior Watkins for serving as a Peoria County Board Member for District 2 since December of 1994 for a total of 27 years, 11 months, and 6 days. And whereas during this time, Junior has served in many capacities on many committees, too numerous to name, but we're grateful for it nonetheless. And whereas Peoria County recognizes Junior Watkins' service as a board member for numerous community organizations, including the Peoria County Cooperative Extension Board, the Peoria Park District Recreation Advisory Board, co-chair of the United Auto Workers Election Committee, and Greater Peoria Sports Hall of Fame, from which he received the Neve Harms Meritorious Service to Sports Award. And whereas Junior's love of community is shown through his service as league commissioner for the Moonlight Basketball League, a founder of the Hersey Hawkins Sean Livingston Summer Basketball League, a member of the Peoria Police and Fire Commission, volunteering with People Helping Youth, and as a founder and charter member of the African American Hall of Fame Museum, and serving as the Grand Athletic Director of the International Order of the Elks. Now, therefore, I, Andrew Rand, Chairman of the Peoria County Board, on behalf of the County Board, do hereby recognize and thank Member Watkins for your public service.
My dad and mom always say thanks all the time. Thank you very much and have a good day and evening.
Thanks, Junior. Mr. Elsasser.
He may have not said very much and his words were few, but I'll tell you what, when he did speak, I always wanted to listen because it was important.
Yes, sir. Anyone else? Thank you, Member Elsasser.
Me.
Ms. Pastucha, it's your turn.
I wanted to say, yes. I just wanted to make a comment
Sure,
about
please
Member
do.
Watkins, that it has been such a pleasure to work with him, and he is still the same honorable man who keeps his word that I knew 30 years ago.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr.
I
Salzer.
didn't know this was going to be the last night because I thought we had one more meeting. So I haven't had a chance to really think about many of you guys stepping off our board. But Junior, you know how laid back he is and so forth? Well, try to compete against him because he was a real competitor. When he put those gym shoes on and walked on that basketball court, that's one reason why he helped take Manual to the state basketball tournament there in the early 60s. And Junior was an outstanding leader for that group that included a lot of other great basketball players. But they listened to Junior, and he led them to the state tournament.
Thank you, Mr. Salzer. Mr. Dillon.
So I can't let, without saying something about Junior, who's become a dear friend, and just a story from traveling with Junior. So that's how I gave him the nickname Smooth Operator, and that's what I've referred to him for the last 10 years. Is when we would travel, he had no cell phone, but yet he always appeared at the right times. And I've never seen a person be so well connected and communicated, and he always knew where to show up. But we're out of town, and the man knows more people than about anybody else there, is getting invited to parties, and we're like, Junior, where are you going? I got invited places. So he was a true man of the people, made friends anywhere he goes, and I'll miss you around the horseshoe and appreciate you.
Dare I say Miss Pastusha again? Hi, Kate. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Whereas Peoria County wishes to recognize and thank Kate Pastusha for her service as the county board member for District 9 since June 27th of 2017. And whereas Kate has served on a variety of committees, including health, operations, finance, audit, and legislative affairs, public safety and justice, the executive committee, the budget subcommittee, and land use, infrastructure as well. And whereas Kate has been an advocate for the Springdale Cemetery and Mausoleum, serving as the Peoria County Board's liaison. And whereas Peoria County also recognizes Kate's commitment to the community over the years, beyond the county board, including her volunteerism for the Girl Scouts, a member of Bradley's Steambest, and singing in the Morton Civic Chorus to raise funds for the Central Illinois Kidney Fund. Now, therefore, I, Andrew A. Rand, Chairman of the County Board, on behalf of the County Board, do hereby recognize and thank Member Pastusha for her service.
So it's been a pleasure working with everyone and getting to know everyone for the past 5 years. My service on the board is done, but my community service is not over yet. So I still plan on being active in our community, and I would just want to thank you all for the time here. And I'm still in town. I'm not going anywhere, so give me a call anytime. Thanks.
Thank you for everything, Kate. Vice Chairman Fennell, please. Whereas Peoria County Board wishes to recognize and thanks James Jim Fennell for serving as a Peoria County Board member for District 13 since December 6, 2010, and Vice Chairman since 2019. And whereas Jim Fennell has served on a variety of the Board's committees during his tenure, too many to actually mention in our allotted time. Whereas Jim Fennell focused particular attention during his tenure on fiscal accountability and sustainability, he was particularly involved with the Peoria County budget preparation, the annual external audit, and Headington Oaks financials. And whereas the county also recognizes that Jim's commitment to the community over the years extends beyond the Peoria County Board, including serving on the Board of Directors for First National Bank of Chillicothe, the Illinois Valley Unit 321 School District, and the IVC Education Foundation Board. And whereas Jim gave 47 years of his time to the Chillicothe Community Fire Department, having been elected as its treasurer and retiring as deputy chief. Now, therefore, I, Andrew Rand, chairman of the county board, on behalf of all of you, do hereby and recognize and thank member Fennell for his public service.
Well, it's been a pleasure to work with all of you. Everyone on this board, you're just great people, and I really appreciate your input that everyone gave. And, of course, Mr. Rand, his leadership, and a dear friend, which is going to lead me right into another proclamation. A little transition there. Whereas Peoria County wishes to recognize and thank Andrew A. Rand for serving as Peoria County Board member for District 4 since December 1st, 2008, whereas Andrew was first elected by his peers to serve as chairman of the Peoria County Board on December 1st, 2014, making him the longest serving chairman in Peoria County's 197-year history. And whereas Andrew Rand has served on numerous board committees during his tenure, most recently the Finance, Audit, Legislative Affairs Committee, Redistricting Committee, Rules Committee, Executive Committee, and all other committees as an ex-official member since election as board chairperson. And whereas Andrew Rand's tenure saw many instrumental decisions that formed Peoria County into a success it is today. He oversaw the successful transition of animal control and shelter services from the City of Peoria's Animal Welfare Society to Peoria County Animal Protective Services. And whereas during his time on the board, he saw the construction of 2 buildings certified in leadership in energy and environmental design, one of which now houses the world-class Peoria Riverfront Museum. Andrew Rand endorsed the success building the block public referendum, oversaw the subsequent building of the facility, and continues to be an active supporter. And where under Andrew Rand's leadership, Peoria County expanded its partnership with Greater Peoria Economic Development Council, which aims to expand development and grow the business throughout the Central Illinois region. And whereas the Peoria County Board gave financial assistance to Tresker's Bakery to renovate the historic building in Peoria Heights and expand their business, which has proved to be a success. They repaid their loan years ahead of schedule. And whereas he joined Peoria Mayor Jim Ardis in seeing the need and therefore creating the Joint Commission of Racial Justice and Equity, which is a 200-participant-strong community member-led effort to address systemic racism and injustice in our region. And whereas Andrew Rand recently spurred the creation of the latest symbol of Peoria County with the unveiling of our new Peoria County flag. Andrew Rand is leaving the office having put into motion a modern health and human service campus to set and transform the current Peoria City County Health Department, Coroner's Office of Sustainability and Resource Conservation Department, and the Region Office of Education. Whereas Peoria County also recognizes that Andrew Rand's commitment to the community over the years extends beyond the Peoria County Board, including being an appointed Cooperative Extension Board member, Multi-County Narcotics Enforcement Group, the Economic Development Council Board of Directors, and the Local Workforce Investment Area Number 15 Consortium, County Consortium Board. And whereas he has received Peoria Mayor's Community Leadership Award, the Greater Peoria Chamber of Commerce Community Wealth Award, the National Awards for EMS, Excellence from Pinnacle EMS, and the 2022 James Smithson Leadership Award, and has been inducted into the African American Hall of Fame in Peoria and named a Junior Achievement Hall of Fame laureate. And whereas Andrew has volunteered with the Heart of Illinois United Way and gives his time, talent to serve as a board member for Heartland Community Health Clinic, Carver Center, WTVP, Peoria Public Television, and Creve Coeur Club and Peoria. And whereas Andrew Rand is known throughout the region for his philanthropic giving and as a supporter of and champion of all things Peoria County. Therefore, I, James Fennell, Vice Chairman of Peoria County Board, on behalf of the County Board, do hereby recognize and thank Peoria County Board Member Chairperson Andrew A. Rand for his public service. Stated this day, the 10th day of November, AD 2022. James Fennell, Peoria County Board Vice Chairman. Rachel Parker, County Clerk. I don't think we put on paper everything that Andrew has done. He's been a true leader for this board. His stickler for details on finances is unmatched by anyone else. He's been a mentor for me in following him along, and we get back and forth different things, but he's been a true friend, and I appreciate that.
Thanks, Jim. And I'll defer any comments to the end of the meeting, but I very much appreciate you wading through that lengthy list. And thank you for your service as well. And through the telephone lines and some face-to-face moments, Jim has kept me from driving off the cliff. Believe me. Thanks, Jim.
Citizens' remarks.
Yes, we have one. I'm excited to say that. Mr. Stephen Morris, who most of us should be familiar with. Mr. Morris, I'll have the mic for you.
Thank you, Mr. Rand. Good evening. It's nice to be back in this room and see all these faces. Let me start by actually talking about an item that's on your agenda this evening, C9. It's on the consent agenda. I want to compliment you on moving forward with this initiative. I think PCAPS does a fantastic job, and I think this is going to make it do an even better job. I've known Dr. Justin Brown personally and professionally for 20 years. I think his veterinary skills is only outmatched by his compassion and ethical treatment of animals. And I think it's just a fantastic move on the part of this board, and I congratulate you on that. And I think you'll be very pleased with Dr. Brown. He's here tonight, but he's a friend of mine. He's probably like, why are you doing this, Steve? But I've known him for 20 years. I think it's a great move. So
welcome,
whoever's
Dr.
idea
Brown.
it was, thank you for that. Now, since I have 4 minutes remaining, I would like to say that you all don't always see it because you're in the crucible of fire, okay? I mean, you're in the mix all the time. But what I want to tell you is that you have gone from an organization that not a lot of people thought about. It was kind of an afterthought, right? And you have made this organization one of the finest public bodies in the state of Illinois. And I'm really proud of that, and you all should be proud of that because you folks have done that. You have professionalized this organization in a way that has never been done. And so, all politics aside, keep doing what you're doing. It matters to the taxpayers and to the citizens of Peoria. So thank you. Quick aside, since I'm up here still, I will say congratulations to all the new members of this board, and thanks to all the members that are leaving for their service. I have to tell you, if any of you are doing this for the money, you're going to need to call me for some bankruptcy help in short order, because I know that you're not doing this for the money, okay? Let me say this to two particular members. First, to Jim Fennell. And I can say this because I'm the only person in this room that can make this claim. I got to sit next to both of these guys for 4 years, okay? Nobody else can say that. Jim Fennell has made me a better servant leader. He did. He's taught me a lot about disagreeing without being disagreeable. And that's a trait that a lot of us don't have anymore in politics. We've sort of lost our skill to talk about the issues without personalizing them. Jim changed my mind on a number of issues through the years, and he did it in a way that was disarming and with such a quiet confidence that I've tried to emulate what I've learned from him. I'm not sure I've done a very good job, Jim. But this board's going to miss you, this county's going to miss you, and thank you for your years of service. Now let me say Andrew Rand. So I came in my first meeting, I'm sitting right here, and Andrew's sitting right there because I'm the new guy and he's the almost new guy. And in about 30 seconds, and I knew who Andrew Rand was, but I'd never met him before. Or if I did, I apologize, Andrew, I didn't remember. But about 30 seconds into meeting him, I knew that he was smarter than me, okay? And it wasn't because he made me feel that way, it's because he was. And I like to be friends with people that are smarter than me because it makes me raise my game. It makes me want to be on the level with them. I can say to you unequivocally that all of you, and Scott, and the administration, and the work, you're all responsible for this. But the single reason why this county is in the financial shape it's in over the last 12 years is Andrew Rand. And it's because the guy is a ninja when it comes to spreadsheets. There's nobody that understands the numbers and finances better than Andrew Rand. And that is a void that all of you are going to have to up your game when he's gone, because there were many issues through the years where I didn't understand the numbers. And I would look to Andrew, and if Andrew gave me the high sign, I was going to vote yes, because I knew that he knew the numbers worked. Andrew and I didn't always agree, but we agreed a lot more than we disagreed. I appreciate your service to this board. The county is better for it. They're going to miss you. Welcome to life on the other side, my friend. It's not too bad. The water's fine. Come on in. Andrew is a friend of mine. I say that loudly and proudly, and he will be for the rest of my life. Andrew, thanks for your service to the county board. Thanks to all of you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Stephen. And welcome to Peoria County, Dr. Brown.
Consent agenda.
Could I get a motion on the consent agenda? Dr. Blair and Member Duncan. Any items on consent requiring some focus? Anybody want to pull anything? Going once, twice? Okay, please vote.
I. Zoning ordinance and resolutions, case ZBA-2022-040, petition of EDPRNA DG Illinois Development LLC, a special use request from section 20-5.2.2.2.h of the Unified Development Ordinance. This section allows for a special use in the A2 agricultural zoning district for a solar energy generation facility, provided that the conditions in section 7.17 ground-mounted solar energy equipment of these regulations are met. The parcel is located in Medina Township. The Zoning Board of Appeals recommends approval with restrictions. The Land Use Committee concurs.
Mr. Dillon on the motion to approve in a second. Dr. Blair. Any discussion? Anybody need any help with this one? Seeing none, please vote.
Member Elsesser, Member Salzer. 17 ayes.
Thank you.
Case ZBA 2022-042, petition of Lisa Rogers, a special use request from section 20-5.2.1.1.c, which allows for overnight accommodations provided that they meet the requirements set forth in section 7.8, overnight accommodations, and provided that no more than 5 rooms or suites of rooms are rented and rooms are not rented for a period of more than 14 days. The petitioner proposes to provide overnight accommodations on a short-term rental basis in the R2 medium-density residential zoning district. The parcel is located in Medina Township. The Zoning Board of Appeals recommends approval with restrictions. The Land Use Committee concurs.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon, on the motion to approve, and Ms. Sharon Williams on the second. Discussion, Mr. Dillon.
Kate, before you ask, 0 objectors and 0 proponents for it, so.
Wow. You went there. Wow. Okay. Any other comments? Seeing none, please vote.
Seventeen ayes. Case ZBA-2022-044, petition of Ryan McIntyre. A special use is required in section 20-5.2.2.1.e of the Unified Development Ordinance. This section allows for a special use for a mobile home in the A2 agricultural zoning district when all towing apparatus, wheels, tongue, and hitch are permanently removed and the structure is attached to a permanent foundation and assessed as real property. The petitioner requests a special use to install a mobile home on a 2.178 acre tract of land in the A2 agricultural district. The parcel is located in Rosefield Township. The Zoning Board of Appeals recommends approval with restrictions. The Land Use Committee concurs.
Thank you. Motion to approve from Mr. Dillon and Mr. Elsesser on the second. Does anyone have any comment? Mr. Elsesser, did I see your hand? Okay. Any comments, questions? Seeing none, please vote.
Seventeen aye. A resolution from your Rules Committee recommending approval of amendments to the 2021-2022 Peoria County Board Rules of Order.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon on the first and Madam Williams on the second. Discussion, do you want to feather this? Any in councils, of course, available too if we need some help.
So you want to fill, if I miss anything? So the discussion that came about where the chair and the vice chair were stepping off the board. Historically speaking, we had always had the chair, presiding chair the next meeting. So asked the state's attorney for some clarification. This is what we came up with, that we will make an appointment. We had the meeting a couple weeks ago for discussion, and of any other rules. That was the main rule, was adding an appointment at this meeting to chair, because there's nobody to lead the new board. So somebody has to call the meeting to order, and that's what that is. We also asked if there was any other ideas that should be presented in rules. No ideas came up to be changed. So these are technically our rules that will then be presented to the new board, and the new board will still have to adopt their rules. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. Question, Mr. Fennell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Unfortunately, the last time we had the meeting, I tried to do it online, and that communications, as I described before, is very poor at best. And I know the new system that they're putting in, they're going to have it to where that's completely changed with the iPads, and there's going to be a lot of improvements in that. So I am very thankful for that. Part of the reason I'm speaking tonight is because I tried in the earlier meeting we had prior to this was to just amend the writing, because it used to be that if the vice chairman or the chairman resigned, then the vice chairman would chair the meeting to start the meeting of the new reorganization. And since both of us were leaving, they couldn't do that. So they rewrote it that they would add a pro tem person to run the meeting, which Mr. Rand will appoint. My point was that I wanted them to keep the vice chairman in there if they were still a board member. And I didn't get a second for it. So for that, I'm going to vote no. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fennell. Others?
I'm just trying to follow what you said. You still think the vice chairman should still be able to run the meeting, or?
If they're still a board member, but both of us are going off, so it's a moot point for this time.
Okay.
But I thought in the rules it should be for future boards. That's
Okay.
my
Okay.
point.
Thank you. Mr. Ricker?
Yeah, I don't have an objection to this. I guess the new board can always bring up rules and adjust rules and as a new board. So, this will be in place for the purpose of seating a new board and the chairperson, and then the new board can then make decisions as that board feels they need to. I think that's appropriate, correct?
Are you asking me for a comment
Or just a clarification, maybe
Yeah.
from Jenny, just, the new board can adjust the rules and pass changes. And I want to make other comment. There's probably some things, I know Mr. Dillon had some people ask about committee meetings. We could do public comment and various things. So there's probably a reason the new board could review the rules and, further improve the rules going forward.
I would say, having been on the Rules Committee myself several times, with each reorganizational meeting, we've had a review of the rules and made adjustments accordingly. Good help. Mr. Dillon?
Chairman, and to that comment, and Jenny might want to comment on it, but prior discussion, it is in our rules currently that the chairs of committees can allow discussion for public comment. So for the public comment portion that was suggested to us at that board meeting, at this point it's really a clerical thing that the future agendas for the committees could say public comment. We do not need to change the rules for that item to be addressed.
Correct.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Elsesser.
And it's a technicality because every committee meeting that I've ever been to, if somebody wants to come and speak, the chairman's or chairwoman has always recognized them and allowed them to speak. So that's the way we are in Peoria County. Why not let people speak if they have something to say?
Thank you. Everyone else okay? All right, please vote.
Sixteen aye, 1 nay. Appointment of Jennifer Groves Allison as Peoria County Board Presiding Officer.
Motion to approve from Ms. Williams, second from Mr. Renault. This is a function of the rules amendment we just made to appoint a presiding officer where there is a gap where both Mr. Fennell and I will no longer be eligible for that role. Any questions? Council's here if you have some questions, of course, too. All right, please vote. Thank you for agreeing to that task, Ms. Allison.
16 aye, 1 abstain.
You have to state a reason.
Suspension of rules.
Did I get a motion to approve the suspension of the rules? Mr. Fennell, Ms. Pastusha, any questions? I got it right this time. I asked to put it on the floor. Any questions? Seeing none, please vote.
Sixteen aye, 1 nay. A proclamation extending the declaration of emergency due to COVID-19 in Peoria County, Illinois.
Motion to approve. Mr. Watkins, a second from Dr. Blair. Any questions or clarification necessary? Seeing none, please vote.
Fourteen aye, 3 nay. Miscellaneous and announcements.
Thank you. I'll start on my left with Ms. Duncan. Any comments? Move along, Ms. Pastusha.
Just want to say thanks again and happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas because I won't see you again here.
Thank you. Mr. Renault.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a couple things. One, I wanted to recognize Gretchen for the work that she did on the flag contest. As a county board member, anyway, recognize her. I thought she did a fantastic job with short notice, and it was top notch. So thank you for that. And then secondly, as a father, I would like to thank both the chairman and Gretchen because they treated a 15-year-old as if he, with respect of an adult, and I appreciate that. That meant a lot to me as a dad and watching this all unfold. So thank you both for treating him with respect.
You're welcome. Dr. Blair.
So yesterday, the Turner School for Entrepreneurship and Innovation had our distinguished speaker, Travis Rosebach, who was the founder of Hydro Flask, which he sold for a lot of money. We told him all about what was happening in this area, and he was astounded. He was so excited about the entrepreneurial community and just the community as a whole in this area. We may actually have been convinced his assistant to move here. She was looking on Zillow and from San Diego. And I just wanted to share that people see the cool work that we're doing in Peoria County and really see this as an exciting place.
Well, if anybody says who does that, you could tell them I moved here from San Diego. Okay, because some people think there's something funny about that. Miss Allison, Groves Allison.
I just wanted to say thank you to all the board members that are leaving for everything you've taught me in the last couple of years, and to stay in touch, please.
Thank you. Mr. Fennell.
I'd like to thank every board member for the personal relationship that I've had with all of you. It's been a great time serving. I'm very proud of this board, proud of the administrative staff, proud of the elected officials that we have in Peoria County. It's a great place. It's a great group. And the other thing I'm very proud of is 18 conservative members. We're all very conservative members, and that's very good. Thank you very much.
Mr. Dillon.
I wasn't going to let some of you out of this room without saying a few things. So, I get this job can be hard on people's families and time commitment, but it's really an honor to sit around here with everybody. And there's a lot of good things that you get out of serving on this board, but the best thing that you get out of this board is friendships. You make friendships with people that you probably would have never met in life, have different backgrounds, different views. Like Mr. Morris said there today, I consider him one of my best friends now and he's serving on this board. But like he said, Mr. Fennell challenges him, made him a better person. Andrew, being so smart with numbers, he did challenge us all to question things, to look at things, and he raised all of our games, even though he was a Clemson fan, which Notre Dame did win. I had to get that in there.
Ouch.
But, I know this isn't goodbye to everybody. These friendships don't end. And there'll still be some of us calling you with questions. And I'm sure we'll hear from you about the decisions we make around this horseshoe too. But it's one of those things, some were short. Kate's been on here 5 years. I wouldn't trade it forever. You guys, all I've ever really known is serving around you on this board. So that's going to be a big change for me, for some other board members on here too. But all of you know, whether you served a couple of years or 27 years, every single one of you left the mark on this place and left it in a better place that you found it. And that's no disrespect to the boards prior. Every board is striving to be better, and this group has been amazing, and we couldn't have done it, and I'm glad to call you all my friends.
Thank you, Jim. Others? Thanks, Junior.
I thought I better speak before Phil starts speaking. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Otherwise, there might not be time. But
go ahead.
I am very sad about Clemson losing for your sake, Andrew,
Thank you.
and for the Phillies losing because he's the longest running Phillies fan in the United States, right? Or no, not quite. But I am excited for the Bradley basketball team. I think they're going to be very good, and I'm looking forward to them. On a more serious note, I wish all of you a very blessed Thanksgiving, and for all those board members who are leaving, I wish you all of God's blessings and good health and strength and grace every day.
Thank you, Mr. Elsasser. Mr. Salzer?
I didn't get a chance to talk about everybody that was retired and so forth, but I want to. I know it. Well, I'm going to talk, so you can get up and leave anytime you want to. Kate was on our infrastructure committee, and Kate always contributed because she was prepared, and she asked some good questions, especially in regards to the jail, and I think it helped the rest of the members of the committee to realize, some of the situation out there and so forth. And Kate, I appreciate that, and sorry that the young person's going off like you, but we got a younger person coming on, so that's most likely better with Danny Phelan. We hope so. And of course, Jim Fennell, I campaigned against Jim Fennell. I didn't put out the one item that had you pushing your grandmother over the cliff and so forth, or pushing somebody's grandmother over the cliff. But Jim was labeled as a, and this is why we should not judge an individual until we get to know him. But Jim was labeled as a Tea Party person, and boy, in my mind, those Tea Party persons, they were a bunch of wackos. I know our side has got a bunch of wackos, but I won't say a bunch. We got some extremists, but I was fearful of Jim coming on the board. But when I got to know him, I found Jim to be basically two things: knowledgeable and fair. And those are two things that we all need to be. And we've become knowledgeable by doing our homework and, of course, learning what the issues are, and then having, of course, a grasp of that particular thing. And so, Jim, I really came to have a lot of respect for you. And Andrew,
Phil, thank you. And I always thought you made the one on that wheelchair.
I didn't. But anyway, and Andrew, you've helped me when we talk about finances. I call you, J.P. Morgan of our board, the great financier and so forth, because I'm the first to say, hey, I never have worried about figures. I really haven't. I've just accepted and made the best of what I was given and so forth on groups that I did serve on. But Andrew made many things far more clear to me as we would drift into some problems with the budget and so forth. And Andrew, even though you asked me one time, are you interested in being the county board chairman? And I told you, I know what my limitations are. And that's one thing in life that everybody should realize, what their limitations are. And I did not have, of course, I don't think the skills that Andrew had, and he is a very skillful individual, and he led us through some really hard times. So thank you, Andrew.
Thanks, Phil. Miss Daly raised her hand, and I missed it as I was rolling around the room. Miss Daly?
I'd just like to echo what Phil said. When you're our age, you get to say whatever you want to. And I did have something I wanted to say about Mr. Fennell, in that I know we will always miss his kind and congenial nature. Not as eloquently put as Mr. Morris said it, but I think your abilities also with budgeting and finance and your gracious nature will be greatly missed. And Kate, it's been such a pleasure to get to know you and serve with you. And I will get to continue to see you once a month at least on the Springdale Cemetery Board. Andrew, you know that you and I have not gotten along about every single issue. I mean, we just haven't. But my favorite quote in life has always been "The Man in the Arena" by Theodore Roosevelt. And in my mind, that is the epitome of your service and your ability to grasp issues will be sorely missed.
Thank you, Linda. Mr. Dillon?
One last thing is I don't know if anybody's seen it yet. I think there was an email put out about it, but if you haven't, talking about cool things that the county is doing, the clerk's new app that you can download and put on there and is user friendly, and you can look at times when your hearings are, interact, payments. Like, this is the stuff you're talking about, making government work for people. It's things like this, and circuit clerk. So kudos to Bobby and his staff. I know it's just rolling out. I don't know if they've made the big announcement, but check it out if you haven't, because it is pretty cool.
He's pretty proud of it. He gave me one too. I can't wait to try it. Can't wait to try
Pass
it.
out those new business cards.
All right, so we're still under miscellaneous here. I don't think anybody who wanted to speak has been not afforded the option. I want to thank you for letting me be the chairperson. I hope to have treated all of you fairly and learned a lot from you as well. With that, I'd like to get a motion to commence an executive session where we have some possible litigation or issues related to pending litigation. Thank you, Mr. Alsasser. Dr. Blair on the second. All those in favor, please say aye. All right, we will begin an executive session in 5 minutes. For members of the public, we will conclude, going in there. For members of the public, we will conclude our meeting immediately after executive session, so there's nothing cool that's going to happen. You're free to go home. And I'd like to also thank the members-elect who were here tonight. I saw 4 out of 5 of you.